Alright guys, this may be well, I make some long videos, but this one will be a long walk around. So this C2 right here, I know people always say they have one of a kind. Well, this is definitely one of one. So for starters, it is Rainforest Green Metallic. It looks darker in my pictures simply because that's just the way the color shoots. If I shot in direct sunlight, it would be, it would have shadows and it would be impossible to take good pictures. So you can definitely see the green more as we look down on this angle here. So this car started its life as a C2. At some point, and I don't know when or who, the C4S bumper was added, turbo bumper, whatever you want to call it. I did not take it apart to find a part number, but based on the fitment and the gaskets under the headlights, there is no way this is not a Porsche part. It's just not, it's not possible. It fits too well. The paint is a direct match. It has all the grills. It has the lower lip. In case anybody is wondering, that right there is a super antiquated radar system, which is kind of retro, and we'll get to that. The flared rockers were added. This car was not born with the flared rockers. They are also a Porsche part, meaning they're not knockoffs. Flared rocker over here. Okay, so let's talk about this spoiler. Oh, before we get to the spoiler, again, I cannot explain this. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what would have caused this, but it's there. And I always point out the negatives as well as the positives. So I want to make sure everybody sees this. Like, it's kind of strange. I wish I could explain it, but I can't. So this spoiler was on a X51 that I sold a year or two ago. It is obviously not the Aero Taco spoiler. It is called the Carrera spoiler. It is a stock part. It is an OEM part. I tried to find a part number. In order to find a part number, I would have to take it off. And we are not going to do that. But this fits. Again, it fits too good. The paint is too much of an exact match. It looks exactly like the one that was on the X51 I sold a year or two ago. So it is, I'm going to say, short of taking it off and finding the part number, it is a Porsche part. It was installed professionally. It's not a hack job. So there we go with that. So somebody got a C2 and they, there we go, focus. And they kind of gave it their own look with the turbo bumper, the flared rockers, and the Carrera spoiler. And they opted against the taco wing. Actually, that's a good, I don't know if the taco wings can fit on a convertible. I never thought of that. I don't think they can. That's probably why that spoiler is on that car, on the car. That literally just dawned on me as I'm doing this video. excuse the vehicles behind it. They weren't there when I started. So I did kind of what I do to all of them. I had the headlights refinished, so they're crystal clear. I had a key made because the key that I got, the fobber didn't, the remote function didn't work. The coils appeared to be original, so I had the upgraded 997 coils put on it. Did an oil change, or new spark plugs. The oil was recently changed, so I dumped a little bit and made sure, like a little drip, made sure it was nice and clean. It's had the LN IMS done, so that is a non-worry. And we have the natural brown interior. So we're going to talk about the interior here a little bit. Let me turn off the radio. So I did the best I could. I de-wooded the interior. Meaning, when I got the car, that end cap was wood. It was chipped, looked terrible. That end vent was wood. It looked also horrendously terrible. It had the wood steering wheel. The wood sections here, here, and here were completely gone. Like gone. It was down to the bare wood, like the core wood. The center console was wood. It also looked horrendously terrible. So what I did was, I have tons of parts for these cars. I de-wooded the car. I went to black. These are all factory parts off 996s that I broke up for parts for kind of this purpose. So I replaced that vent, the tunnel, the armrest, the ashtray, the window switch surround. I sourced the steering wheel from a guy I buy parts from. Now, the wood trim here, you see where it's missing. In order to address this, you would have to pull the dash, which is a big pain in the you-know-what. The rear speakers had wood. They are gone. Now, I thought about doing something with these, but they're in the back. You don't see them. If the buyer wants, I have black speakers I'll put in, but then it wouldn't match the front. So because the wood around the fronts are still good, front speakers. So right now we have wood trim on the front door speakers. Right there. Oh yeah, and the surround up here for the gauge cluster bezel was wood, and it looked it was terrible. So that's an OEM factory black. And what you see here, right here and right here, unfortunately at some point somebody tried to glue the wood back on and they spilled some glue. So when I took this off, like as you can see right here, when I took this off, it took some of the leather up, which is too bad. The horseshoe wood right here is actually in good shape. So I consulted with my wife, who is more of the aesthetics individual, and she said leave the wood because it picks up the shift knob, which is an awesome shift knob. This is great. I love this shift knob. And it picks up the wood on the e-brake, which is nice. So there's a little bit of wood left, but not much. Now, again, I'm going to offer this as an option to the winning bidder. I have a black horseshoe. Okay, I will change it for you, no problem. I have a black center vent. I have a black cup holder. I will do any combination of switcheroos that the buyer wants, or we can leave it. Whatever you prefer. I think I have black door grill, speaker grills. Now you do have to take the door panel off to switch those. I do not mind doing that. I will do it, no problem. And then I have rear speakers in black, so we could do that, but I will leave all this up to the buyer. One reason I didn't do anything with the speaker grills is the front speaker grills are leather trimmed and they're in good shape. So you'd have natural brown on the dash and then black and black. So I opted to go with the natural brown, even though these look kind of junky because the wood trim is gone. But I will do whatever. You know, I'm up for whoever wins the auction, whatever they want me to do. Switch this, switch that, leave it alone. Go to black. You know, whatever. I'm flexible and more than willing to accommodate some individualization. That's a hard word to say. Individualization for the buyer. Okay. I hope that answers questions, and let me know if you think of anything else. And thanks.